Welcome back, F81 Build. And as you can see, the M4's back in the picture. So that means one thing, and it's not so good for the M4.
Judgment Day.
Yeah. We plan to get all this underside all sorted in this episode and start taking the bits off the lovely M4.
You scared?
You're
nervous?
Mate.
You're worried?
Look at it.
Looks good, doesn't it?
It looks good,
You're
man.
to destroy that for that.
But in this episode as well, I'm going to do a bit of a price breakdown so far on that. Do a bit of a price breakdown on this and the reasoning for using this. I'm still not quite sure why I am doing that, but hopefully it makes sense to you guys and kind of my reasoning behind it. But we'll soon find out in the future if that was a good car to choose to build the M3 estate. If you haven't been watching the channel from the start, you're probably wondering why I'm using this M4 instead of an M3 to do my M3 estate build.
I think you're mad.
Yeah. So basically, I bought this M3 probably nearly 2 years ago now.
Was it that long ago?
Not a year and a half ago,
Yes,
say.
yes. Yeah? Something like that.
Bought it from salvage, built it on the channel. If you go back, you can look at the videos when we got this. It was category S, didn't run, didn't drive, all the wheels were smashed. Go back, watch it, and we built it, and it's like this now. So I already had this, and then I had this mad idea, let's do an M3 estate, and I'll use this. So the reason I'm not using an M3 is, I've got this. You've seen the prices of M3s, M4s have come down. M3s are always worth more than M4s. Don't know why. They might have sold more of M4s. M3s may be more practical. Some people say the M3s look better. Some people go, the M4s just look like a 4 Series. La la la. There's all banter between the two. But it is a good looking coupe. I will admit, it looks the part, doesn't it? It's beefy, lovely coloured blue. Some people call it wheelie bin blue.
It does.
It doesn't, mate. It's got metallics. Look at it.
It does look a bit like my wheelie bin.
Is it San Marino? Not San Marino. It's
Yas Marino.
Yas Marino blue.
Yeah.
It is a San Marino blue. It's a nicer blue, to be fair. So people have got in the comment and said, why are you wrecking a completely roadworthy car, and why don't you buy a crash damage M3 from Copart? Which is all fine. I mean, there's one at the minute. I can get it up and show you. It's buying now £15,000 plus charges, so it's probably around 16,000. Don't know if it runs, which I didn't know with this. Front end's damaged, so you have to buy new panels for the front. Back end's damaged, so you have to buy new panels for the rear, so you couldn't even use the rear quarter panels. That's the problem of buying a crash damaged M3. Whatever you have got damaged, because you need, basically, as you can see, you need everything. All you need off the donor car, really, is the shell. Everything off the M3 or M4, you need to be taken off, interior and all that business. You'll need it for the, like if the airbags are gone, which this one on Copart is, you need new airbags. That's my reasoning for not buying a crash damaged M3. I'd have to buy a fully running, working M3 really to make it feasible. Because the other option is, say, buy all in parts. The amount of money you would spend on buying it in parts. If you look on the previous episode when I built this, it was only the front bumper that was damaged and the side skirt. All the underneath, all the radiators at the front were all damaged. It cost me like £8,000 in like little finicky bits and bobs parts to get this all sorted. So yeah, doing it that way isn't an option. So that's why I haven't bought an M3, because in my mind, to get a pretty rough one, you're going to be spending 20 grand upwards to get a decent one, and you're going to have to cut and chop all that up to put it all into that. So that is my reason for not buying an M3. The current market on M4s and M3s is, you know what it is with mileage and stuff, people get all upset about it and that. High mileage M4s, M3s, the highest mileage, not the highest mileage, but the one I've seen recently up for sale, I think it was £14,000 on nearest offer, and that had 130k on. Pretty much standard. This has got just clocked over 120k. So I'm in the high mileage category, ain't I? And that wasn't category S or N, it was completely straight. So what is mine worth? You're going to knock a few fat, and it's going to, imagine that, high mileage, category S, looks great, but what, you saying 12 grand? Do you reckon 12 grand?
Yeah, mate, you probably might get a little bit more. I don't know personally, but what, say 15 max, but probably not.
I'm going to show you some more things now. So it looks pretty standard under here, which everything is basically, but luckily for me, I didn't know this until I found the previous owner and I kind of drove the car once we got it all back together. It isn't standard. So this is the bonuses for me using this car and this engine. So it's had the full crank hub done, which is a problem on these. They slip and then obviously the timing goes out, wrecks the engine or whatever. But that's a couple of £1,000 job in itself, which has been done on this engine. It's also had hybrid turbos at the same time, which is another expensive job and another problem with this engine. The turbos basically go any sort of mileage. If they haven't been done, they're going to go at some point. So that has been done as well. And that is another couple of grand plus job with the labour and that. So that's, what, 4 grand just there, where if I did sell it, yeah, you may get a bit more money because that's been done or whatever. But if I then buy another car and it hasn't been done, I'd have to do all that. So that's a bonus on that bit. The other thing is, as well, which was a little Brucey bonus, which I didn't know about, Akapovic tips. A lot of people just whack them on. Mine were stolen at Copart or wherever it was left. So I've had to buy some more tips. But yeah, it isn't just some tips what I've just been put on. It's got a full titanium Akapovic exhaust system, and I've looked up at about 8 grand. And it's got the full system from basically all the cats back. It's all been decatted and all that business. So that is another thing which I could take off the car and put a standard exhaust on and keep that. But you're looking at like, what, about £10,000 worth of parts on this car.
Yeah.
What I could potentially, is that going to make, I can't charge more money because it's got that on, can I really? You know what I mean? It's just a bonus.
One of them, yeah.
Also took it and had it rolling roaded. It's 600 horsepower. So it's ready. I think if you run MEF, it runs 700 horsepower. You don't need to. So it's a capable car. Do you know what I mean? It's had a lot of work done. It's had all the money spent. I ain't spent it. The previous owner did. Poor sod who wrapped it up. So that is the other bonuses why I want to kind of use this car.
You failed to mention the best thing.
What's the best thing?
You put that wing on the.
Oh yeah.
On the touring.
The bad points, retail value and stuff like that, and with the build kind of bad things. Bumper's cracked. The missus dropped her dad home after he had a night out or something, and she come in and went, yeah, I hit a badger on the way home. And I was like, you know what badgers are? Big as houses, aren't they? And they're literally rock hard, aren't they? Solid. Went out, I was like, couldn't find it in the morning. Anyway, literally, fair play to her, she only cracked the bumper there, but that can be all sorted when I put it on that, because it's obviously going to be painted. But for resale value with this car, all the front bumper's cracked. So it brings it even more down. So what are we at now, about 5p?
Yeah, something like that.
When I got this car, it had a spoiler on it. So the boot was drilled, but I didn't get the spoiler. Someone had half-inched it. But then when they were putting the boot lid trim back together after they pinched the spoiler, they put the wrong screws in and screwed straight through the boot lid, because the boot lids on these M4s are like fiberglass and metal. It's really weird. So yeah.
Got some holes in the boot.
Got some holes in the boot, which is another. So what we down to about 20p now.
I think you won't gonna have to pay them to get rid of it.
Literally, how much to take it? The bad things for the build are seats. They will go in, but they fold forward, don't they? Door cars won't work, so I need some door cars. So ideally, I'm going to sell the whole interior out of this. That will then hopefully fund a bit of funds to pay for that interior. Dashboard, steering wheel, centre console should all fit over, so that's all good. Mirrors are the same there, but the base plate's on. I have got the original mirrors off that, so maybe we could swap the base plates around, or just do what normal people would do. Sell their mirrors, sell the other mirrors, and buy some M3 mirrors.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good. Wings, it went until a subscriber got in touch and said, yeah mate, your wings look the same, fit all there, but they don't fit here, because that part's different, and this part here, what meets the side skirt, which is different. So I've had to buy wings, which I've already bought. So we're nicking the bonnet and the front headlights, the front bumper, all the running gear, but the rest of it isn't going to work. Apart from the rear bumper, every towing eye, them bits, reflectors, all them carbon bits, all fit in to that bumper, because it's the same, it's just the rest of it's different on the M4, which is a bonus.
Don't think that's going to fit.
I don't think that's going to fit, is it? Carbon roof ain't going to fit either. But an M3 carbon roof wouldn't fit, so there you go.
Yeah.
So we're down to 20p, so Well, they want to give me 20p. Oh, and the brakes need doing. That's another thing I'd have to do. But I'd have to do that on that anyway, so that cancels that out.
Yeah.
Really.
The wheels look good as well. They'll
Yeah,
go over,
I bought
obviously.
them. They're obviously the competition wheels. This isn't a competition pack car. It's just a normal M4. To finally finish on the M4 side of it now, I bought this car, bid 10 grand. It was 11,000 with charges, repaired it all. It owes me about 90 and a half with all the bits and bobs, spoiler, wheels and all that. So if I did sell it for 50p, I've lost quite a bit of money.
Yeah, about 19 grand.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with this. So that's kind of the reason behind it.
Looks good though,
Do you
mate.
still think I'm mad? Or what?
Well, after you cleaned it yesterday and I was following you, I thought, it's going to be a shame.
Drives me, do you know what I mean? It's going to a better cause, isn't it?
Yeah, that will look cool.
It's going to look cool.
Everyone's got one of them, but no one's got one of them. A couple of people do, not many.
So like I promised, a bit of a price breakdown on this, basically what I paid for this and then what I bought parts wise to get it to kind of this far now at this stage. So I bought the car, it was category N, engine was in the boot, stolen, covered or whatever, someone stole the crank because that's what you do. I reckon someone blown it up and done an insurance job, but I ain't gonna point fingers, you know what I mean? The car, I got it for bargain, right? 2016 335 X-Drive, £2,530.80
Bargain, mate.
with the charges. Bargain, absolute bargain. Cost me 83 quid in fuel. And then BMW, rear quarter panels, a few bits and bobs, £2,128.58, which I would think was a bargain.
Plus, you bought the last ones in the world, didn't you? So,
No one else can do it. No, there's still plenty out there. But that was inner, outer, and a few other bits like these brackets and the brackets here and brackets for the stuff. So there's a few bits. But you've seen when we did Dave's episode on the Golf, when he used a second-hand panel to strip the panel, because there's that many panels inlaid, it's just so much easier using a new panel. M3 rear bumper, 190 quid, that second-hand damage, which was cutting up, didn't mind. Front wings and a few other bits of panel extras, what I needed, £1,132.93p. Genuine wings, they're aluminium, do you know what I mean? The people selling that for damaged wings on eBay,
yeah.
that's a grand total, £6,065.31. So that's buying this car, buying all the panels, getting it to this point now. But I've then sold some stuff, haven't I? Right? So I've sold the front end for £2,000. The whole front end, bonnet, wing. Nice lad, watches the channel, loved it. He's repaired his with it, you know what I mean? Helps save the world really, aren't they? DPF 240, steering wheel with airbag 280, gearbox turbos 900, side skirts 180, front and rear axles, all the running gear basically 800 quid, dashboard 250, and I've still got lots of stuff left, so if you need any bits guys, get in touch. So that brings it down to this car at this minute sitting on the ramp, £1,415.31p.
It's a bargain, mate. Absolute bargain.
It makes me feel better about that now, doesn't it?
But that's your major outlay, isn't it? I don't think, you know, you've spent what...
I've got paint here. Got to do
Yeah,
it's
but...
going to cost a bit. Anyway. I've still, like I said, I've still got bits left off this car. What I can sell to kind of... I reckon I could get to... With all the bits what's left, and yeah, I could perhaps whittle it down to, I don't know, £1,000 or something. Easy.
Bargain. Bargain.
Right, look, Bottle, let's take this M4 apart and break people apart.
Regret your
This is where I
decisions.
take it all apart and
Nothing
it don't
fits.
fit. You think we're finished now with the bodywork modifications to make this into an M3 estate, but I'm going to quickly go over and show you what we've got to kind of tackle now. Quickly, whilst we're just here, apparently you have to drill more bolt holes, but you didn't know that. To bolt the shock absorbers up. One of the main things, but this only applies on X-Drive, right? You wouldn't think this, would you? But let me explain. Here, we've got a slight hump in the floor, and that isn't from Copart, like we've got in the back. That is because this model is X-Drive. I did realise this, but didn't realise this, kind of forgot about it until one of you lovely people in the comments did drop a message in and say, are you going to do, and I'm going to tell you now, and I said, do you know what? I watched someone doing a build in America and they had to do this, but I couldn't figure out at the time why he did this. This is the indentation I'm on about, which is intentional by BMW. So on the X-Drive model, you got the gearbox in the same position as your normal rear-wheel drive model, but on the back you got like a transfer box, and there's a little bit what sticks out, and it has a little kind of tiny little prop shaft what goes to a front diff, which obviously drives the front wheels for the four-wheel drive system. So on an X-Drive model, this side is straight, and this side has this little bit which then is humped in the floor as well. So it has a different gearbox mount. So the M3, M4 boxes or any rear wheel drive mount differently. So if you've got a rear wheel drive, or you buy a rear wheel drive donor car, not an X-Drive, you won't have this problem, right? So this is only X-Drive, but this is just showing you the differences, what you may come up against if you want to do this conversion. So what I've done is ordered from BMW this section. So this section is actually spot welded on. It runs literally the whole length of this part of the vehicle up to here. I've got to take that off. So I need to drill every single spot weld off that and unstitch it off, and then put in this panel, which I think is going to work, because obviously you got to remember this floor's still dented in. So I may have to put like, I think it's going to miss here where the spot welds go on because of this indent, so I might have to put some kind of strengthening in there for where the gearbox mount goes, because I think it mounts roughly there. So that's what we've got to do. You know, everyone's learning on the job and all that. And then the other thing is what I've mentioned before, which you'd have to do on any of these builds unless it's M3 or M4. They don't have this lovely diff guard. So that's quite easy, just unspots and that comes off out the way, and then that then is exactly how it is on an M3 or an M4. Brake lines we're going to take off because they are damaged. Yeah, have a bit of a tidy up really. It's mainly the back section I think, isn't it, Jack?
We get some stone chip or something on it?
Yeah, I'm going to like epoxy it I think. Clean the rust off, put some like rust treatment stuff on, epoxy it, stone chip it, and then I'm going to colour code in the arches. Because I think, even though you don't see them, they have a piece of carpet over it, but that's what it's like from factory. This is the other thing. Remember me saying about the subframe? I've got these little kind of, I think they're in the car, they're upstairs or something. There's literally, see these bolt points? They're on the M3, M4 subframe. And obviously on normal standard BMs 3 Series, they literally just bolt there. But on the M4, M3, they've got a bit of more strengthening in, so they've got another section here. So what I've got to do, and then obviously they bolt there, is use this subframe off the M4, bolt that on, and then I've got these new little bits what's are gonna go in place, so I can then slip them in, whack the bolts in, grind away, whatever, mark it all up, weld it on, and then paint that area up, and then that is an M3 touring shell basically out of BMW.
We're hoping for no more surprises.
There's going to be, mate. But yeah, there's going to be, isn't there?
Well, quite a few people have done this conversion, haven't they? So
there's one more.
What's that?
You think it ends there? There's a exhaust bracket mount, and I can't remember where that goes. When we've got the M4 on the ramp, we can have a little look at that, and yeah, it's just a tiny little minor.
Just had a bit of a discussion, haven't we?
Yeah.
Changed your mind about a few things, I know.
You have, and I think a few people did comment and did say, and I said this back end area is the one what's looking like, you know, needs a bit of attention. But then we've just kind of been looking all over it. I know like there's big under trays what go underneath this, like all the way along. Covers kind of everything up, but then all there's just little tiny bits here and there, bit here, you know what I mean? If I'm at this stage now, there's no point leaving.
You'll never get this chance again, will you?
No.
This will never be done again for the rest of the life
but then
of the car.
all this is absolutely sound. So what we've come to the agreement, take everything off. It's got to come, battery cable's different. Fuel lines are broke. Needs to change them anyway because they're diesel. The brake lines are damaged. They're coming off. For the sake of I've got to take that off to get that off. So just take the rest of the few little bits out. take that all off there, and what we're going to do, clean and treat any areas, wire brush up any rusty kind of where the paint's flaking off, treat that, and literally blast the hole underneath with some black stone chip. So respray the old car, stone chip it all.
Yeah. Well, we know that you've already decided on the colour of your car.
I haven't fully decided yet.
Well, you have. But some people put in the comments about spraying the engine bay while the engine was out.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen, is it?
No, because I've kind of fell in love with this colour. The whole reason why I bought this car, well, it was cheap for one. This colour red, they did Ferrari Rosso red, they did in an M4 and M3. They may have done it in the normal models, but I can't remember what the BMW code is, but it is technically Ferrari Rosso red. But this, Melbourne red, is basically the same, but with metallics in. So it looks even better when this is in the sunlight. I'm telling you now, it looks mint. And I think with the M4 wheels on, or a set of nice black wheels and the black bits and bobs, it's going to look good. And I don't think anyone else...
I was just about to say that. No one else has done it.
So don't get doing it before me. But I don't think anyone's done a red or Melbourne red.
There are a lot of nice colours out there that I've seen that people have done, but all the ones you think of have been done after.
Oh, they've already been done.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people did comment red or keep it the same colour or another shade of red. But we like the colour. Stokes likes the colour, and it does save a bit of messing, doesn't it?
Like in the engine bay inside the car, all the inside the car's red. But worst case scenario, I could always wrap it or whatever if I did want to do a different colour. I think it's going to stay Melbourne red.
And just to kind of complete that, that means essentially then the inner arches in the engine bay can stay as it is.
As it is.
Because they're not Melbourne red anyway, are they?
No,
it's like a different colour.
They're postbox red, mate. Yeah. If you're in the UK, you know what a postbox is. It's literally postbox red.
So they've obviously blown it over in one shade of red and then done the rest of the outside of the car.
It was that colour red originally.
And it's actually in decent condition as well, isn't it? All the engine bay. Once you cleaned it out, it looks fairly decent. So
the most annoying thing is you do all this stuff and it all just gets covered up by...
99% of it you don't even see, do you? So
like the underneath this, I'm going to paint all this here. You don't see it. It gets 100 tray goes underneath it. But that would annoy me. You know what I mean? This little bit here where it's just gone a bit flaky, it's obviously going to cause problems in the future, isn't it? So I'm putting all this effort in and this work, because apparently on the BM pages, when people put these up for sale, go, yeah, but it's not a true M3, is it? It's not a true whatever. No, but it's had more work to get it to this point. It ain't just a case of putting an engine in. There's a lot of work to get it to look like a proper M3 estate, because it is a proper M3 estate, really, isn't it? Even though the logbook says 3353. Not even joking. 1 million spot welds.
I counted, I reckon it's about 80.
No. Jack can count, and I'm good at guessing stuff, and there's 1 million. And I reckon there'll still 2 million in a minute when we start hammering it and we've found ones what we ain't done.
Hey, it's only taken us half hour, isn't it, to do all them? That's not bad, is it?
No, I suppose not. But do you know why, Jack? Because...
Teamwork.
It is that, and we had the right equipment. We've done this job with the wrong equipment.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Get the right tools for the job. If you want a little tip...
Yeah, and it literally just cuts the spot weld out. But another tip is to pilot them first.
Yeah, because...
Just a little indent with a smaller drill bit.
That little pin, it just... I mean, this, you do get this with the set, and we used these previously. And then we even was using...
the flat ones, aren't they?
Yeah, but we was using a drill bit with like a little pointy end on. But what we found we was doing with that, we was going all the way through the panel.
It was a pain in the arse.
Yeah. Right, Clark, if you want to sponsor us in thingy bits, you know where we are.
I get through. Just when you think you got them all.
Another 600, literally just there. So that is part of that apparently. So we'll get to this bit and it'll be a part of that, then part of that. Before we know, we've changed the whole floor. Just buy a rear wheel drive, why not an extra drive next time? Keep landing in my mouth.
Use an M3 as well instead of an M4.
If I go to the doctor, will I have an iron in
Say again. Go on, start again. If you went to the doctors, would you had an iron?
Deficiency, not inefficiency, deficiency.
That's how you do it.
It's
Easy.
by magic.
Mate, was that even an hour?
I don't know, mate. It's just a lot of spot welds. That robot, man, is doing overtime when he's putting that in. So all we've got to do now...
Flat down 84 spot welds.
Yeah. I think that is the same as the original, but then this kind of tapers up. Until I get this new bit, it may taper up there like that, and then they've just I don't know. It'll probably just spot weld on the two ends like that, and I'll have to fill all the gaps.
You know, you're just worried about not having anywhere to fix into the hump.
Yeah.
Can't we just go the other side, warm it up?
Just hit it with a massive hammer?
Yeah, hit it with a hammer.
Because that's what they did at BMW, obviously. They just got the robot and it just got poof.
What about a jig?
No, not allowed to use that.
Weld some rods on.
David charges for it. Pull it down. That's all they've done in there. They've literally hit it with a big, massive Thor's hammer. Thor's gone there and said, look, mate, show me all your extras, and I'm going off for them one now anyway. Now we've removed this diff guard, all we're doing with the wire wheel is just going around like these flaky areas, getting that lot off. I've got a bit of seam. I'm going to obviously treat all this with some X-primer and stuff, seal it all so it's all kind of like protected again. And then we've got this, well, before we do all that, we've got this rust treatment which will stop, or it neutralises anything like this getting any worse. So what we don't want to do effectively is just paint straight over the top of that, and that causes like issues further down. So we want to kind of neutralise that. It comes in a jam jar.
Yeah, Colonel Mustard.
Colonel Mustard.
I don't think that's supposed to happen, is it?
No. Ow, it's hot as well. I feel like I've been strangled or manhandled by a mass. Yeah, blind the grinder up.
Well, the good news is we have got another one.
Yeah, but that was my dad's one. He doesn't know.
You're going to get grounded, you are.
I am going to get grounded. No tea tonight, straight to bed. We've got a backup, haven't we, somewhere? That's my dad's other one.
You're in trouble then.
It's alright, because I've got him recently just buy a cordless one. The idea of the skirt is basically all the paint goes on the underneath the car, not everything else.
All over that and that.
Yeah, and that and this and that. So quickly come into the room. Look what I've done with the place.
Cozy.
So just paint on kind of seam sealer over that. I don't think it looks too bad. Once it's all stone chipped up one colour, it'll look better. Just done a bit in the areas. Tonight, obviously this rust treatment stuff will go off, ready for me in the morning, because everything's time Pacific at the minute. We've got to time everything right, ain't we, Jack? Or it's going to balls everything up. Tapes up all the holes what are inside the car, because I've made that mistake before and painting the dashboard. Yeah, so it's ready to go. So you'll see me in the morning on the time lapse, blasting this out and then back onto some stone chip then.
Bane.
Who's Bane?
He's from Batman.
You got
Tom Hardy? When he's working
Yeah.
Come on. You not seen that film? No. You look like him anyway.
What, does he paint on the sides of cars?
He henches him as well.
Do I? Thank you. Yeah, she's grey.
Looking good so far, mate.
Yeah.
Nice base coat, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's the epoxy primer all on. And now for the black stone chip, and that just gives it, you know, stones and
protection,
that.
innit?
Stones and stuff.
Do the honours.
London Bay.
Peel back the carton. The curtain.
Absolute stink.
We'll try and get a bit of light under there in a bit, but it looks really good, I think.
Yeah, I'm just about to say, like Jack is just saying, it looks really good.
Yeah, it ain't took us that long if you think about it. Other than literally waiting for things to dry.
Yeah,
it's like a day's work, innit?
First thing this morning, let that dry, and then after work, then come up, got this on, this will dry now, I'll get some paint for the arches, get that on. I've wore masks, but I don't think...
You need proper paintless masks.
They were fake.
I'd say no turning back, but you could turn back a wheel bolt, couldn't you?
It's just the start of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Say goodbye, give her a kiss.
You ever watch that geezer who puts his doodah on the exhaust?
Who's you?
It's not like I'm going on.
years ago.
I'm not going on as if it's like some dirty like channel or something. No, there's a geezer. He's in love with his car.
And he puts his.
But he went. Then there's this older guy because the younger kid, he obviously is in love with his car, but he's not. Obviously, he's only young. He's testing out. He's just There's this older, this older guy. He's proper because he just don't care because he's older. He went to a car show. He's rattling in all the cars.
Rattling them?
Rattling them. He's going around like in the night.
Leaving the light.
People waking up to greasing rear arches and that. Undersealing them for him, weren't they?
Lubricating them.
Dropping the oil. So
Problem number one.
Yeah, I don't know what. I think it's obviously an engine mount or something, but that ain't supposed to be like that, is it?
Is it even attached? No, mate.
Yeah, it's easy, just bolt that back up there. Yeah, we had a few little bits on this back end. The brakes, obviously had to get the handbrake cable out, but the handbrake is buried behind in the centre console, so we couldn't release it that end. So we had to take all the rear brakes off, the shoes and knackered. It needed to come all to pieces it needed to come apart anyway. So yeah, stripped all that down, we had to drill some bolts and all bits and bobs. Then the shock absorber decided half of it would get, because it's aluminium, the actual bolt is obviously sheared off, but it's loose, it's undoing out the car, but it's stuck in the aluminium bit. I have got a spare set of shock absorbers, so I can change that bit over on that. I had a spare set from when we rebuilt it last time. Yeah, so I can nick that bit off that. Yeah, 4 bolts dropped out, didn't it, Jack?
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Brake lines, 4 bolts. So now I think, right, quick one. Apparently, someone told me that the prop shaft on early M3s, M4s were carbon fibre. I don't think this is carbon fibre. This looks steel to me.
Looks like it's made of tape.
And then it's run tape around it. But this is a 64 plate, so is that classed as an early car?
Not sure, you have to get in the comments and let us know.
Yeah, did they do carbon props on the early M cars? Sounds like steel to me, mate. You can see now, obviously I've got all this shield. Obviously you know I stone chipped that up there nice on the estate. It gets covered up anyway. And then this is the bit we're replacing on that. See, that's a straight line, it doesn't, see there's a bit of a dip there on, like similar to that, but that mount on this side won't bolt up without this piece in, and I didn't want to take it out of this car because I don't know what I want to do with the shower yet. I might want to do something fruity with it, do you know what I mean? Put a 1 litre EcoBoost in it or something like that. So we're making progress. Literally, got a pile of bits, haven't we, Jack?
It's in the shape of a car.
It is. So yeah, we've got a fair bit off the underneath. We've also got the rear axle and prop shaft and all bits. It's coming off pretty well, hasn't it, Jack? We've got a bit stuck on the rear brakes because they're knackered and they need what's name, but we have to drill a few bits and bobs off. But no, yeah, there's a few more bits we want to get out, and then we can start putting some bits on that. So we did want to get a bit further in this episode, bolting things on, but we are waiting for that part from BM, that bit for the gearbox to bolt up, and it's going to cause a bit of a nightmare if we start bolting things on. So yeah, we've had to cut it a bit short. Get in the comments, I'm keeping it Melbourne red. What do you think? I think it's a good choice. I've never seen a Melbourne red M3 estate touring. So
yeah, no, it's going to be unique.
Unless someone in the comments going, mate, it's about 10, mate. You know, change it up a bit, do a bit different colour. But no, I'm happy with the progress, even though she's in bits. But I think what it is, I'm not too because all the panels are still on it at the minute, and it's just, you know,
doesn't look very sad at the moment.
No, it's not looking sad. It is a sad day, but it's not as if I'm
bigger and better things, mate. That's all I'm going to say.
It's definitely bigger.
Is it better?
Yeah, definitely better. So yeah, fight. Dave was it would be fighting.
Dave and shite.
Yeah. Like, follow and subscribe. Hit the bell icon, get in the comments, and yeah, just thanks to everyone who watches and subscribes and everything.
We're going to be plodding along, getting this more and more stripped as the weeks go on,
and hopefully, obviously, we are going to be getting stuff back.
I think this will be back up and running in no time.
Running, hopefully rolling and then running. But
both. I'm confident.
You're confident?
Yep. Right. See you next week.
See you in a bit. See you next week.